It is being called a tangible step to make Canada's justice system more fair and equitable for Black and racialized people who are disproportionately represented in the prison system. The federal government has announced more funding for a pre-sentencing tool implemented 2 years ago, which they say is working.
Our goal is to make these assessments a consistent part of the criminal justice system across Canada.
$1.4 million has been committed to Legal Aid Ontario to help support the preparation of IRCA's Impact of Race and Culture Assessments. The reports help sentencing judges better understand the effects of racism, discrimination, and poverty on an offender and their life experiences.
People want to be seen and heard. This is what an IRCA report can do. I feel that when we use these reports, we are seeking to understand the perspective of racialized accused and no longer could think of them as the other, that they're not simply, for example, those young Black men getting in trouble.
Legal Aid Ontario says the number of racialized people in prisons has increased by almost 75% over the last 15 years, with an 80% increase in the Black prison population.
The population in our prisons does not look like the population at large.
But experts tell us while the intention of the reports is great, the tool is effectively useless without more health, education, mental health, and housing supports.
We see those individuals disproportionately still being incarcerated. Providing more and more reports that show people have had horrendous histories and that they need all kinds of supports, absent the supports, is probably not going to make the difference we'd like it to make.
In recent months, there have also been calls for bail reform and stricter sentencing in Canada after several police officers were killed in the line of duty, some of them by criminals out on bail. Similar tools have been criticized for making it easier for criminals to reoffend, but we're told currently Canada isn't jailing the people who pose the greatest risk, but rather some of the most vulnerable, like Indigenous women.
Because that's per capita. Prorated is who we're jailing at the fastest rate. And I don't think you'll find a person in this country who would say that the people who pose the greatest risks are Indigenous women with histories of past trauma. We already have a system that's skewed disproportionately to put them in prison and to privilege those who already have supports and resources in the community.
For City News, I'm Tina Yazdani.